This is Logical Logistics, where we cover shipping, supply chain, logistics, and everything in between. Welcome to the show. All right, welcome to the latest edition of Logical Logistics. I'm your host, Joe Becht, and today's guest is Brian Bartolotta, and he is the president of the International Air Cargo Association of Chicago. Brian, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
Yeah, this is great. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
You know, I'm the president of the International Air Cargo Association of Chicago.
Okay.
As well as I actually own BCS, which is a recruiting and consulting company for international transportation, air cargo, and logistics companies.
Okay.
And I've been involved in the industry for about 17 years.
All right, great. So tell me a little bit about. So let's go into the BCS first.
Sure.
What do you do? What do you do there?
So what we do is we place professionals within the different, air cargo, international transportation, and logistics community across the nation. Chicago and Los Angeles are our two biggest hubs per se, and we do contractors as well as direct hire professionals from operations personnel to sales to management.
All right. Now, the International Air Cargo Association of Chicago is a group that a lot of forwarders here in Chicago belong to. I just went to your most recent event, which was on security. Yes. It was for CPAT, correct?
Yes.
And it was a really great speech. Tell me a little bit about the association, what you guys do, what membership, what's involved.
So the association is, it consists of people from the International Air Cargo Association, people who are involved with, O'Hare Airport,
okay,
aviation, airport, people who deal with the airlines, people who deal with the forwarders. So it's a group, it's, been around for quite some time.
Yeah.
And it's, based out of obviously O'Hare Airport, and it's basically we're becoming the mouthpiece for the international air community around O'Hare. Okay,
so what I noticed is it's a great networking event.
Yes.
Networking is so huge today, whether it's online with LinkedIn or in person. And yeah, you brought. Just at this event that I went to, you brought so many different people from different areas of the forwarding logistics community. You had people from the major airlines. You had forwarders there. You had brokers there. You had other members from your organization. So I just think it's a great thing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
It's what we've been really trying to do is link up the different organizations. So people who maybe are on the forwarding side, we're trying to get more involved with the airline side so that they can see what's pressing in our industry. We can see what's pressing in their industry. A couple of things we do is we do have monthly luncheons. It's usually the second Tuesday of each month. We get a different speaker, somebody who's involved with the industry, but who's also involved with pressing matters to our industry. We've had Brandon Freed has spoken with us.
All right, and Brandon's been a guest on the show twice. He's the president of the Air Forwarders Association of the United States.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So we've been trying to link up with the national associations as well as the regionals.
Right.
And we also do have several networking events as well. They're typically on Thursday nights, throughout the year to get the industry professionals together, to network, to help for people's careers. Our next event coming up, we do have a golf outing on August 9th.
All right, now you're speaking my language.
Yeah,
okay.
States, so it should be fun.
Yeah, sure. Well, let's go into the golf outing. We'll go back to the serious stuff. Let's go to the fun stuff right now. So tell me a little bit about the golf outing. When you said it's going to be in August?
Yep. So it's Tuesday, August 9th at Bridges of Poplar Creek in Hoffman Estates.
All right.
I believe it's 8 a.m. Start time. And, we have the golf outing and the luncheon. Foursomes are $400 for 4 people.
Okay.
There's sponsorship opportunities as well. All the proceeds do go to the IAC's scholarship for last year. I know we gave a couple scholarships totaling $5,000 for college for people related to the industry's children. So it's a good fundraiser. The luncheon's a really good time. There's a lot of prizes, and we have a few surprises for the course this year.
All right. Very good. You can't let me in on any of those?
Not yet. We're still discussing them.
So that's interesting that you have a scholarship for young people out there. Mm-hmm. It's really encouraging that people in the forwarding and logistics industry do things like this. Can you tell me a little bit about that scholarship opportunity that you offer?
Yes. So so if you're a member of the community, you could basically apply if you have a child that's in college. And we do give a few different scholarships based on the applications, but they could be anywhere from $1,500 to $4,000.
Oh wow! And
college.
How does the application process work?
It's a 2-page application. You fill it out.
Would you find this on your website?
It's on the web. It is on the website. Okay. And if you have more information, there is a contact button. Who to contact for that about the opportunity? Fill out the application, and then there is the committee does review to make sure that people are qualified and can do it, and there's usually a few each year. It's pretty good.
All right, yeah, that's such a great thing. Mm-hmm. I commend you for that. As far as back to the monthly luncheons, mm-hmm. Can you go over some of the speakers and topics you've covered recently? Yep.
Last month we had Bill Hogan. He was the head of security for C.H. Robinson Forwarding in Chicago. And one of the big things that he covered was CT-PAT, also about screening with air cargo, also about the threats that companies do face.
Yeah, he had some great stories.
Yes, definitely very exciting.
It was an engaging conversation and presentation. So go on, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he did a great speech. The month before, we did have Bruce Campbell. Okay. He is the CEO of Forward Air. Right. And, he sort of discussed topics that are affecting, the future of transportation in terms of, trucking, what's going to happen with driverless trucks, how that's going to impact, moving goods with, different rules, how they're going to sync it up with 1 driver, 3 driverless trucks, what the impact of, Amazon is, which is sort of the big question that everybody's
That's the big topic that's coming up a lot, the way Amazon has gone into the industry. Yeah.
Yes. So, the feelings are they're going to be a major player quickly, and, how our company's going to adjust to Amazon, and the ones that adjust will be able to compete.
Right. Yeah, that's interesting that you had Bruce talk. I would love to have him on as a guest. I've kind of hit a wall there because of the company. I'm going to still try because I know he's a fascinating gentleman, and Forward Air is such an important part in the movement of freight, just as important as the airlines right now. Yep. Some other topics that have been covered.
So we're going to have some more. We have government officials that have come in. Sure. Anywhere from divisions of customs and
TSA.
TSA, we are working on that. Okay. And we did have somebody from the branch that deals with toys and how, bringing them into the country through customs and what's legal, what's not, with, what can be considered dangerous, what's not dangerous.
Right, exactly. That's a great question because a couple shows ago I had a gentleman on who actually a startup. He has a nasal spray, but it's benign. It's made with saline and glycerin. He just contacted us, and he wants to get it over to the United Kingdom. Mm-hmm. And there's a gray area. Is dangerous good because it's an aerosol and mm-hmm. things of that nature? So it's interesting you brought that up. Yep. That would be a great topic to discuss. I'll probably have to go and dig his brain.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely. So as far as the IACA of Chicago, how do people find you and join? What's the benefits of membership?
We're very strong with education and networking. Okay. So part of what we do, part of what we take pride in is we have a strong membership base. We're always looking to expand, and we are very big on education. So we're very big with educating our members on, anywhere from dangerous goods to CT-PAT to other pertinent issues that are affecting our member companies, are affecting our organization in terms of, the shipping of goods, by air or even by truck, domestically, internationally. So we're very good with keeping everybody informed and networking among other member companies.
Okay, great. What's the best way for a company or individual to find this organization?
Go online. We're at iacac.org.
Okay.
If you do Google search, you could do IACAC or International Air Cargo Association of Chicago.
Right.
We have a very user-friendly website, and you could go into different, ask us questions. There's different information about our organization, what we do, different topics that we've covered that has been on there, and just go on the website, and it's pretty user-friendly.
Yeah, it's user-friendly, and it's an organization that's friendly for anyone that's involved in this industry. Mm-hmm. And it's such a wide array. That's why I call it logical logistics. I'm going to ask you the question I ask all my guests at the end of the interview, but we're not at that point yet. So, as president of this organization, where do you see the industry going? Where is it at? Do you see any changes coming up?
I think there are a lot of changes coming up. I think with, the e-commerce aspect is huge. So with our, as we grow our membership, we're getting more of millennials being involved with our industry, which I think will be pretty good with getting them more involved with the streamlining efficiency. And I think for some companies there will be a struggle with getting more streamlined and more involved with e-commerce instead of getting away from the older tools that people would use.
Right.
So I think it is definitely becoming more streamlined. It's getting pushed by a lot of industry leaders. Obviously, Amazon is going to be a leader in that, and companies are going to have to play catch up a little bit. But I think overall it'll be good for the industry.
Okay, so that's the changes you're seeing, the e-commerce. Mm-hmm. What about other factors now that you're along with the millennials and changes we see in our society as a whole? What about green technology, or you mentioned
3D printing is
3D
going to
printing,
be, yep.
Driverless trucks. Tell me about that, because that scares me.
I think
right.
that's I think that's the driverless trucks. I think is going to be a pretty neat. I think the hardest thing is for people to overcome seeing that on the road. So
yes.
what we're hearing and what you're talking about is actually it's going to be a lot safer.
Okay.
The reaction time for braking is going to be much, much quicker, whereas maybe an older driver may take him, and this is, a second and a half.
Yeah.
A 35-year-old person may take him a second, where a driverless truck is going to be a quarter of a second. So it's going to be much quicker in responding to dangerous situations. So overall, it should be much safer. And also, too, the biggest impact, I think, is with, the mandatory federal times with the amount of time that a truck driver could drive.
Yes.
We're going to, that's going to be an issue on how long could they drive for. Could they drive for 36 hours straight? So it should be a lot quicker transit time as well.
How large of a truck are we talking here?
There's still going to be similar-sized trucks. So I think they're going to be...
So there's going to be driverless semi-trucks?
Yes. And then part of
this still frightens me.
It is
okay.
frightening.
Yeah.
So
right.
what I think they might do to sort of ease the public's concern is they might travel them in packs. They might have 3 driverless trucks in one, and then the 4th truck will have a driver.
Okay.
So that's how they're going to initially start out, and it depends on a matter of safety, a matter of reliability, and then once the public gets more comfortable with it, and if there's a record of safety, then, who knows what will happen after that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But it will definitely be very, very concerning seeing a driverless truck that's a semi drive by you.
Yeah. Now, what are you seeing on the air side? Is there a reduction in lift? Is there one airline that's performing or going out of their way to help forwarders and logistics providers more than others?
Some are, some aren't. There's
okay.
definitely issues within the air cargo industry. Volumes have been pretty soft. So I think a lot of times, either there's going to be changes happening based on regulation, based on any type of threats,
security,
and
right?
And based on the economies. I mean, there's definitely been some mergers going on that are going to impact Virgin and Alaska was a nice merger.
Yes.
But I think it's definitely coming from the larger airlines. But I think a lot of it's going to be the regulation that's sort of impacting it a bit.
Okay. So you think security is having more of an impact than the actual economy? So.
Not necessarily. I think
right.
It's definitely having an impact. Right now, I think the economy, basically it's been flat. That's preventing certain things from taking place a little bit, that there hasn't been a lot of real growth. But there has been the security's definitely been more of an obstacle on the passenger side than on the cargo side, but there has been definitely an impact on the screening side as well.
Okay, interesting. As far as the screening, are you seeing an increase in that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I know there's been some issues with screening that has slowed down the process and that speeds up. And now we even see it on the passenger side for some reason now.
Yeah.
The passenger with the TSA is happening, and there's different theories on that. But
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's interesting. So do you feel as though are you getting a gauge? Is freight moving more on the ground or in the air right now?
Right now on the ground, in terms of, on the ground, and then because that's more pricing type base, but it has been more on the ground. And then on the international side, definitely from the ocean.
So there's more ocean than air happening?
Yeah, there's more ocean than air because the prices are so cheap.
Yeah, all right. Biggest gateway is still China?
Yep, China, and then, China, and then for the U.S., Long Beach and Los Angeles are the two biggest ports.
Okay, how about here in Chicago? What do you see?
Yeah, I mean, Chicago's been very busy in terms of Chicago, Atlanta. I mean, Chicago's really been a main driver in the U.S.
All right, great. Once again, my guest is Brian Bartolotta. He's president of the International Air Cargo Association of Chicago. I'd like to thank you for joining us. My question to the majority of my guests is the term logistics is so overused.
Yes.
And that's the name of the show is Logical Logistics. You see it you see it on the side of a train, you see it in storage facilities.
Yeah.
What does the term logistics mean to you?
To me, it means the movement of goods.
Okay.
And basically.
All right, great. Brian, what is the best way for people to reach you and the International Air Cargo Association of Chicago?
If they want to reach me personally, my phone is 773-991-4082. My email address is brian@bcsplacement.com. And you can always reach me through the website as well.
Okay. Now, if they reach you with the BCS placement, where can they reach you as far as what would they be inquiring for you on the BCS side?
Yeah, they can either inquire about IAC or about my company BCS.
Okay. And then can we go over one more time what BCS?
Yep. Sure. So BCS, we are a recruiting and consulting firm for the international transportation, logistics, and air cargo and freight forwarding industries. Okay,
great. So best way to reach you is 773-991-4082. And can you repeat your email address again?
Yes, and my email address is brian@bcsplacement.com.
Okay, and then as far as the International Air Cargo Association of Chicago, the website, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's IACAC.org?
Yes.
All right, and you can find out all the information on meetings. You have a newsletter called The Pallet, correct?
Yes, actually, thank you for mentioning that. We have a pallet that comes up once a month. It's usually the first day of the month, and it talks about different issues in our industry, and then different topics about the local Chicago International Air community. It's a fun newsletter. I do have the president's letter as well, so we try to keep it light. But it's great if you want to sign up for the newsletter. Go online, and then you can sign up for the newsletter online. Send us your email.
Great, and the scholarship information and the golf outing information is on the website as well, correct?
That is correct. Yeah. And if you have any further questions about that, you can always contact me on my cell phone as well.
All right, great. Brian, I can't thank you enough for joining us today. This is Joe Becht with Logical Logistics, and my guest has been Brian Bartolotta, president of the International Air Cargo Association of Chicago. You can contact him at 773-991-4082. Brian, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Joe, it's been a pleasure. Thank you for having me on.
Great. We'll talk to you next time. And we'll see you next time on Logical Logistics.
Click the subscribe button for new videos every week and download us and review us on iTunes. Visit www.beslogistics.net for more logistics, transportation, and warehousing resources. Thanks for watching.